Hey ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the show. In today's gaming news, a new gameplay mode is coming to Hearthstone, Ratchet Clank Return, and ESO Console has arrived. As much as people seem to love Hearthstone, there has been this growing complaint of a lack of content. And no, we're just not talking about new cards, we're talking about things like additional deck slots, tournament mode, or just new gameplay modes and features. Well, much to the relief of the community, we got the announcement of new gameplay mode today. Blizzard has revealed Hearthstone's Tavern Brawl. These are 1v1 matches with exciting and unique rule sets, which can include pre-built decks, specific requirements for constructing a brawl deck, or even buffs to certain minion types. Now, the first brawl will be beginning sometime mid-June and looks to be lasting for about 1 week. This is something that's actually similar to the Challenge Stone event, which was recently put on by Kriparian, and I really like this. Basically, think of like there's a buff to all Murlocs or all Pirates, and you have to build a deck with that in mind. Now, while this isn't an in-game tournament feature, which I think most of the community is clamoring for, I know myself would love something like that, just to casually be able to hop into these tournaments that are just constantly going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would be fantastic, but it is a new feature, it's a new gameplay mode, and it should be pretty exciting. Along with this announcement, they discussed the new hero skin that was released, Magni Bronzebeard. This is a $10 skin that is just going to change aesthetic stuff. People wanted me to talk about that. You're basically getting special emotes and a unique animation for the warrior hero power. It's kind of garbage that it costs as much as it does, but at the end of the day, I really don't care. It's blatantly obvious by the announcement of this new gameplay mode that Blizzard are working on other things. This is a free-to-play game. They want ways to rake in the cash. Frankly, I rarely care about cosmetic stuff as long as they're working on other things, which again, it's been proven today that they are. It's nothing that I really care about. Something I do care about, though, is Ratchet Clank, and the fact that we've got a new one coming out. Insomniac Games released a trailer for the new Ratchet Clank game coming to PlayStation 4. This third-person action adventure is a reimagining of the characters' origin stories with a modernized gameplay that still pulls inspiration from the title's roots. This was a beloved series by many people who played the original game on the PlayStation 2, myself included. Not much to tell, we just have a gameplay trailer. There was also, I think, 8 minutes of gameplay footage revealed. I'll give you guys a link to both the trailer and the gameplay footage below. It looks really good. How is a modern version of Ratchet & Clank going to play nowadays? Not sure, but it looks good for what that's worth. And lastly today, I just wanted to remind you that the Elder Scrolls Online console version is here. Yes, the console version of the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited launched yesterday. Now, just as a reminder, this is a one-time buy. There is no required subscription fee, although an optional subscription is available. Called ESO Plus, this gives you a 10% boost to character progression, access to all DLC for the game, as well as 1,500 crowns a month to spend on the in-game shop. So I talked about it a little bit in prior episodes. I'm going to be playing this. Pretty much all of a lot of my real close friends who game picked up the console version of the Elder Scrolls Online. As you may or may not know, I spent like 300 or 400 hours on the PC version, and I liked it despite its flaws. Now, it's still the same game. It's been altered for the Tamriel Unlimited thing, but it's still got the issues that it's had before. It's not completely freely open like prior Elder Scrolls titles. It is more of a sort of shoehorned MMO experience with an Elder Scrolls skin in the Elder Scrolls universe, and the combat isn't the greatest. These are, it's like beating a dead horse, or that's kind of graphic, but you know what I'm saying. We're saying the same things over and over again, but I do just want to remind you, while the game's not perfect, it hasn't changed that much. There have been additions and improvements since launch, and it's now available on console if you want to try it on the controller. Frankly, I think it plays really good, and once more, despite its flaws, I overall enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to spending a bunch of time with my friends trudging through Tamriel, so you might see some gameplay footage from me for that as well. And then lastly, people are upset that I didn't mention in last Force feed that last week we get the announcement of XCOM 2. Yes, I realize that that is a thing. Yes, it is pretty exciting. I'm sure I will be talking about it again in the future. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's episode of The Feed. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. I know, it's crazy. I'm gonna be playing an MMO with a controller on the console. It is sort of insane to think about, especially when a perfectly good version is available on the PC. But let me tell you one thing. I have experience in MMOs, and there will be a lot of console players who have no idea what they're doing in PvP. and I will relish in my crushing of them. I'm such a bad person.